Tonight's story isn't just another political scandal, it's about accountability reaching the highest levels of power. New York Attorney General Letitia James has pulled back the curtain on Donald Trump's business empire, and what she's revealed is nothing short of explosive. The Letitia James Trump investigation has uncovered systematic financial fraud that could dismantle the carefully constructed myth of the self-made billionaire. This Trump financial fraud case represents one of the most comprehensive investigations into business deception in modern American history, and the Trump Tower investigation findings prove that even the most powerful face consequences when evidence speaks louder than branding. For years, Trump built his empire on one narrative: success, the towers, the gold letters, the billionaire myth that promised to make America great again. But the Letitia James Trump investigation reveals that image was constructed on fraud-inflated assets, fake valuations, and numbers that only existed in Trump's alternate reality. This isn't political theater. The Trump financial fraud case is built on hard evidence, documents, testimony, and court filings that methodically dismantle decades of deception. Attorney General Letitia James didn't stumble upon minor accounting errors. Her Trump Tower investigation uncovered systematic manipulation, where Trump and his organization allegedly inflated property values to secure loans, dodge taxes, and mislead financial institutions. The Letitia James Trump investigation team spent years gathering evidence that doesn't shout, it whispers quietly but clearly that Trump's gold-plated empire was built on paper, not reality. Today, the walls of Trump Tower echo with something Donald Trump has avoided his entire life: consequences. This Trump financial fraud case isn't about campaign rallies or fiery speeches. It's about paper trails, signatures, valuations, and lies finally caught in daylight. The Letitia James Trump investigation didn't just expose numbers. It exposed a culture where power operated without accountability. Deception was business as usual, and truth was optional as long as the brand stayed shiny. The most powerful evidence in the Trump financial fraud case comes from documents, quiet, stubborn documents that refuse to lie. The Letitia James Trump investigation assembled a meticulous blueprint showing how the Trump organization allegedly built its empire on systematic deception. These Trump Tower investigation findings reveal properties valued at one number for lenders, another for tax officials. A golf course suddenly worth hundreds of millions more when loans were needed. A penthouse magically tripling in size on paper. The Trump financial fraud case uncovered deliberate asset inflation, so consistent it appears less like mistakes and more like a business model. For years, Trump allegedly submitted financial statements that were works of fiction, designed to make banks lend more, partners invest more, and the public believe more. The Letitia James Trump investigation proves this wasn't done secretly, it was filed proudly, as if rules didn't apply. What makes the Trump Tower investigation so devastating is its scope. Letitia James' team traced every inflated number back to its source, treating it not as political theater but as financial investigation grounded in facts. The Trump financial fraud case reveals an empire built not on solid gold, but on paper gold, the kind that crumbles when light hits it. The legend of Donald Trump has been one of America's most persistent myths, the self-made billionaire who turned ambition into empire. But the Letitia James Trump investigation has punctured that carefully crafted image. The Trump financial fraud case reveals how the myth wasn't born in the marketplace. It was engineered in boardrooms through exaggerated numbers, inflated valuations, and relentless efforts to turn perception into currency. According to Trump Tower investigation findings, properties valued at $100 million became worth $300 million when paperwork suited Trump's needs. Net worth ballooned and shrank like stage props depending on the audience. The Trump financial fraud case proves that exaggeration wasn't a side effect of success, it was the product being sold, the bait that drew investors and made banks say yes. The Letitia James Trump investigation exposes how brilliantly and dangerously Trump's brand blurred the line between truth and theater. Even seasoned financial professionals stopped questioning where reality ended and performance began. There's an old saying in investigative journalism: people lie, but paper doesn't. The documents from the Letitia James Trump investigation speak louder than any campaign rally or social media post. The Trump financial fraud case is told through numbers, valuations, and signatures, language impossible to spin. When applying for bank loans, most people tell the truth. But according to the Trump Tower investigation, Trump allegedly inflated numbers when needing money and shrank them when paying taxes. This financial shape-shifting relied on confidence, power, and the assumption nobody would dig too deep. But Letitia James did dig, and the Trump financial fraud case followed paper trails through real estate records, loan applications, tax filings, and internal communications. What the Letitia James Trump investigation found wasn't just inconsistency, it was choreography, deliberate movement repeated until it became standard procedure. Trump's own signatures on financial statements became evidence in the Trump Tower investigation. Every page tells the same story. Perception was power, and power could rewrite numbers. The Trump financial fraud case strips away personality and politics, leaving only mathematics. Numbers don't have party affiliations, they either add up or they don't. The Letitia James Trump investigation proves you can shout over people and silence critics, but you can't outtalk your own paperwork. The Letitia James Trump investigation has done something extraordinary. It cracked open the idea that the Trump organization was too big, too rich, too complicated to face real accountability. This Trump financial fraud case treats evidence the same way it would for anyone else, as facts, not fiction, and certainly not branding. The Trump Tower investigation findings point to potential fines reaching hundreds of millions of dollars, possible bans on Trump and his family from operating businesses in New York, and ripple effects touching every corner of the empire. The Letitia James Trump investigation proves this isn't a political hit job, it's paperwork. Plain and simple. Evidence tested under oath that can't be denied. For the Trump organization, the Trump financial fraud case threat is existential. If rulings hold, the company could face court-ordered restructuring or dissolution. A man who branded his name as the ultimate symbol of victory could see that name legally removed from properties that made him famous. The Letitia James Trump investigation isn't just threatening money, it's threatening mythology. The Trump Tower investigation represents a moment when America asks itself, does justice mean the same thing for everyone? The Letitia James Trump investigation answers clearly, yes. The Trump financial fraud case proves that even the tallest towers can't block justice forever. When law shows up with evidence, it doesn't care about applause, it cares about truth. And right now, truth is standing at Trump Tower's door, demanding answers that decades of branding can no longer avoid.